All right, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, call on Allah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakaha Kodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstones who want to teach more, and all right, Shalom to the elect. All right, so another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, and the Lord is doing the same thing that He did unto Egypt in the past. He's going to do it here to America, okay, the new Egypt. All right, and I say that America is the new Egypt because it's taken after the customs of Egypt, with some of the names of the cities, some of the statues and the pyramids and the architecture. Let me say that word. All right, it resembles those of the things that the ancient Egyptians had: the pyramids, the obelisks, the gods that they worship. There's many gods here that's worship. And all the other nonsense that comes with a place that has gotten you into bondage or double straits. All right, I think the word is Mitzrayim. Okay, that's another place of bondage for you, and this is what America is, aka Babylon the Great, and the Lord's going to plague this place with plagues as He had did before. Okay, so let me get a scripture. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, and let's just go there. Let's see what it got up. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 7 says, thus, I'm going to start at 1 and just read on down. It says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imagination against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. All right, unbelievers. We ain't worried about unbelievers or mockers. Okay. It says here, behold, saith Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And you can see that going on around the world. Okay, you can see it. The sword with war, death, and destruction behind those earthquakes and all these weather anomalies. Okay. And famine because of weather anomalies and war. Okay. All right, verse 6, it says, for wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Sin is just running rampant in the world. Okay. All right. Watching a TV show with my old lady, right? And these women, they're going to go from America over there to Africa and, basically portray whoredom that they learned here in America over to a whole nother country, okay? And this is how wickedness spreads. This is how the mindset of an Edomite is spread through his people throughout the globe, okay? And when I say his people, I mean, look at how America is clinged on to the way of how Esau operates, okay? And the nigger woman especially, okay? She's going to take what she learned over there to another country that probably doesn't have anything to do with ass shaking, homosexuality, violence, niggerdom, loud music, just bullshit like that. They're going to take that over there, take that poison over there and poison the minds of those people. But that's just the ways of America. And that's how it's, one way it is how it's, filtered through the earth. All right. Another way is by way of the internet. Okay. But, and there's more examples, but those are just the ones that I could come up with off the top of my head. All right. It says here, verse 7, thus saith Yahweh, I will hold my tongue no more at touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Here the Lord's people, his elect, right? And those that are righteous, they're complaining about this stuff, okay? Because of the wickedness. All right, the Lord is hearing the cries of his people. Verse 9 says, and therefore saith Yahweh, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Verse 11. Behold, I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before and will destroy all the land thereof. It's talking about America, okay? Because Egypt is still a functional society over there, okay? Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. All right. I'll come back to this, verse 13, but let's look at some of what the people are going through here in America and what's planned for the future of America, because they're telling it to you and they're showing it to you right here in your face, okay?
No one is over here helping Gary. Thousands of people in Gary, Indiana have been without power since August 11th. The National Weather Service informed us that Gary faced the strongest winds, which reached 99 miles per hour, equivalent to a Category 2 hurricane. All the power is out, as far as I know, all across Gary, Indiana. They're losing food. Homes are getting warmer. They do not have money, and some of the cards aren't even working. I ran into some ladies that had children, and my heart broke. My name's Aja, and I'm going on day 7.
Hey, the Lord doesn't have any mercy for anybody. The Lord does not respect their person. Yeah, the lady mentioned children, but the Lord's going to slay everybody. All right, that's wicked. Even little children, man. Okay. This is the vision of slaughter. Slaughter is going to come in many different forms. Okay. This is Ezekiel 9:4. It says, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, which is a people before it's a place, and set a mark on the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry, and for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. All right, same thing which I just had read in 2 Ezra the 15th chapter. It says, and to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye through the city and smite, let your eyes not spare, neither have ye pity. Let's look at this word smite right quick, because guess what? There's going to be a lot of dead jakes out here, man. All right. And it's just a judgment from the Lord. We can't be, upset about it. But the word for smite is nakah. Okay. It says to smite, hit, slay, kill. Okay. Beat, scourge, clap. You're not Jake, but yeah, we clap that nigga. Or they say wipe his nose. All right. All that's going to be happening. Basically, judgment is coming. Okay. It says to be fatally smitten, be killed, be slain. All right. All this is going to happen. Attacked, captured. All right. Destroyed, punished, subjugated, conquered. All these things are going to happen. Especially, just imagine what's happening in the cities now. Right. With no power, no food, babies crying. That's happening right there. Out there in Gary, Indiana. It's not being reported, but I guarantee you there's kids out there hungry. There's kids that ain't got nothing. Houses overheating, like they said. Heat. No AC to cool yourself down. All right. No water, if any. Right. All types of troubles. And nonetheless, it says here, verse 6, it says, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin in my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. All right, those that know the Israelites, they're gonna be judged first, right? But here you go, old and young, both maids and little children. All right, the Lord ain't worried about that. All right, the Lord is worried about establishing righteousness. And if you're a child, little Pookie or little Ray Ray was wicked in their past lives, they come here to live out the judgment that the Lord set for them, believe it or not.
Having no power in one of Indiana's worst blackouts and one of the highest crime cities in Indiana. IPSO, the company.
Highest crime cities. Is that what she said?
And one of the highest crime cities in Indiana. IPSO.
Yeah. And one of the highest crime cities in Indiana, where all the Jake live.
Company that services 100% of customers in Gary, announcing that it may be until next Tuesday day until many people get power back. We're on day 9 of no power in Gary, Indiana. My neighbor across the street, my teacher down two streets down, we have no air in here. Schools are closed.
They all probably calling it Jesus Christ, and then Jesus Christ ain't did a damn thing for them.
Families are throwing away spoiled food. People are driving to Illinois just to find ice for insulin. I am from Gary, Indiana. I was born there, raised there until I was about 8 years old. My family is from there. People still live there, and many people are telling me that they still don't have power. They have trees on top of their homes. One of my cousins sent me this video of a grocery store completely decimated, food spoiled. This is also where the city gave people vouchers to, $150 of vouchers, but this was the only place that they could use the vouchers.
That's it. They set you up in a trick bag, man. They gave you vouchers to a place that you can only use the voucher that they gave you, and this food is spoiled, or they threw it all out. We helped you, but we didn't help you, right?
For one, have not seen anybody else outside of Gary, Indiana talk about what's going on in Gary, Indiana, and I don't like it.
Gary, Indiana specifically is also almost 85% black. That's important.
I think this should be national news, and it's crazy to me that it's not being talked about.
I cannot believe no one is over here helping Gary.
Well, you better believe it. Damn, black woman. All right, let's see. Another video. But it's going to be at a bigger spectrum, okay? Now listen to this.
Shocking developing news coming out today, August 19th, 2026, of potential cyber attacks against our power grid systems that could knock out and black out the entire United States for 18 months. And they're saying it is shockingly easy. In fact, they're saying that 12-year-olds with internet access could do this. And so Iran doing this, they said, is not out of the picture, and it could be absolutely devastating. Let's take a look at the latest headlines coming out today, August 19th, so you can see it for yourself. Shockingly vulnerable U.S. power grid could result in an 18-month nationwide blackout, an expert has warned. This is coming out all across the headlines today, August 19th, 2026. Take a look at some more with me. Warning that a mammoth nationwide blackout could last 18 months as power grids' appalling weak spots are exposed, and they're saying this is something the IRGC could actually easily do to the United States. U.S. is at risk of an 18-month-long blackout that could extend across the entire nation, experts claim. So just to clarify, we're going to be getting into the details of this, but they're saying this is not just a city or a region. They're saying the entire United States of America could be.
All right, don't forget that stuff is planned. You know, what is it? Order out of chaos. They give you a problem. They come with the, reaction, problem, solution, concept. Okay, you see that they're pointing the finger. But, every time you point a finger, there's 3 or 4 pointing back at you, right? Remember that. So just be cautious of what it is that you receive, from the internet. I'm not saying that this is not going to happen, and I'm not saying that it is, but they're telling you that something is going to happen before it happens, and they're telling you who they're going to blame. But remember, this is all part of the Lord's game for judgment for Babylon, Esau, Edom, and America. And if it is an insider job, guess what? Esau, Edom is doing it to himself. Okay, and this is only going to usher in the use of digital currency. Okay, at some point, if not before, this power grid shuts down. Okay, or it gets shut down, and the only way everything comes back up online is you take that Kharagma. Okay, that's how you be able to survive. Okay. Look at the people. Well, somebody said been hearing this for years. Well, now it's probably going to come to pass now that they have somebody to, point the finger at. Okay. Look at this. Somebody just said, so Indiana is just a test. Of course, where all the black people are. I hate this life and everyone planning on having kids in this era on purpose anyway. Well, there you go. Somebody said, I drink this. Look, it's not Iran, it's U.S. and Israel. And then I'll listen to a brother's video. This comment said 18 months. It seemed very specific. Listening to a brother's video, what's what go 3 times 6 is 18. So 666. All right, that's how you get to that number 18. It's very specific right there. All right, here we go. Just more comments, okay? But it's all reality. It's all what's going to come to pass, okay? This is another part of what the Lord's going to do to Egypt. He's going to cause darkness to come through this place, okay? Let me get this. I was looking at it earlier. All right, this is Exodus chapter 10 and verse 21. And Yahweh said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven. Yep, okay. And Yahweh said unto Moses, stretch out thy hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. All right, this is what's about to happen. Gross darkness, literally darkness, not gross darkness, but literally darkness everywhere. All right. Look, it says here, sadly, it will turn into a war zone, and the rich will watch it unfold through flock cameras. Right? Yeah, you got Trump saying a few years ago, I think it was within his last term, talking about a purge. All right, we can find videos on that. But darkness is coming. Jacob's trouble is coming. This is all going to be a part of what the Lord has established for Jacob's trouble. And there's going to be hard times out here. And only those that are going to be stable and have that faith in the Lord, like it says in Isaiah 33. This is Jeremiah 30:7. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it is, even in time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. All right, let's look up the word trouble. All right, we know who Jacob is, but let's look at the word trouble. The word for trouble is tazarah. It says straits, distress, trouble, vexer, rival life. All right, the strongest definition, it says adversity, affliction, anguish, distress, tribulation, and trouble. All right, you're going to have adversaries. And I had mentioned, Donald Trump and his purge bullshit, or just, a day or so ago, there was a man walking around in Philadelphia, a Jake man, asking people, are they ready to die, terrorizing people. All right. There's more sickening things going on in the world other than that, right? Like shootings, robberies, mass shootings, all this kind of stuff. And those mass shootings, they turned up this year, okay? But it's all part of plagues and troubles, okay? So be careful when you're out and about. But this is just, you can see here. Let's see. Let me see. See, here we go. Also, YouTube video. I don't want to watch another YouTube video, but let's see. It's not really showing nothing, but he said this. All right. And you're going to see stuff like that because it's going to be, gross darkness. But let's finish watching this.
Entirely blacked out, shut down, and we would be unable to get our systems up for roughly 18 months is the estimate that we are hearing. Now, in the addition to that, take a look at this. We've been continually hearing threats coming out from the IRGC. They are threatening to target global energy and internet infrastructure if Iran is attacked again. This came out August 12th when we had heard some of the more recent threats against the U.S. power grid systems. And just to clarify, it says here global energy and internet, but in case you were wondering, Iran made sure that we knew. Iran lawmakers threaten U.S. power grid if Iran is attacked. And that is not just grids of U.S. assets in the Middle Eastern region. They're talking specifically about attacking U.S. soil in North America. We're going to get into the details of this, as they're saying that this would be coast to coast, west to east. Every single resident in the United States would be blacked out for 18 months, and they're saying it's actually shockingly simple to achieve. They believe that 12-year-olds with access to the internet could do it because we are operating on archaic systems that need immediate attention right away. Now, in addition to that,
if this attack happens sooner or later, there is going to be immediate attention, put forward to them to, take the time to, build up what it is that they're going to do as far as their digital infrastructure, okay, with the database system, with the data centers, okay, with these cameras, all the surveillance stuff that's being set up, it's all probably going to be used to finish engineering that this new world order. All right. I want to get that Joe point, but I'm going to play some more of this video.
Also been receiving attacks against our water systems, the cyber attacks on the U.S. water sector, and the Iran question. Escalation or opportunism? Now, we're actually hearing new states have come out and announced that they are some of the ones that have been hit. And we're going to be taking a look at that in detail so you can see more of the states that have made the announcements as we are mapping Iranian cyber attacks on U.S. water systems. Now, from my understanding, we have not specifically been able to confirm that it is Iran, but they're saying this has all the makings of the cyber avenger Iranian cyber attackers that have hit U.S.
All right, your electricity and your water. All right, two resources that you can't really, operate without to a certain extent. There's also going to be, food shortages and plagues in that sense, okay? But just pay attention to what's going on, man. The Lord's bringing the drama. All right, time is speeding up. I was talking to one of my coworkers, one of my employees the other day, and he got up out of his desk. He said, "Dang, it's already 12 o'clock." And I was like, "Yeah, did you notice that the time is speeding up?" And he said, "Yeah." And the Lord is doing that for his elect. He always edifies in the next time.